everyone. Thank you for tuning in to myself, Sophie McDermott, Karen Reilly and Clodagh Byrne's podcast. For this podcast, we wanted to interview some up-and-coming Irish acts. These acts included Irish alternative rock band Late Night Pharmacy and Irish pop singer-songwriter Arlene. We wanted to interview these acts individually to get some insight on their genres of music and their experiences in the Irish music scene.
So in regards to getting into music, I was always into music as a kid. I was in I don't know if you've heard of score competitions. I started off doing that with a few of my mates. I never actually thought I could sing, which was the funny part. I never was interested in the singing part. I was always the one who played the guitar or whatever and did some backing harmonies or backing vocals and stuff like that. But after that, then I decided to start a band with one of my mates from where I live. It's just a little rural area in Roscommon. So that was called Strings Attached, and that went on for a while, and there was just three of us. So it was I think we just got gigs out of pity, if I'm honest, but it was fun. It was really, really good fun, and we all got on really good. And I finished school and I decided that I was more into music. So I went to BIM and I'm in third year, and since I started there, it inspires you kind of to go off and get your own creativity and originality out there. So I guess my genre would be more kind of pop, R&B sort of stuff. I think it's holding up pretty well at the moment, getting to be bigger with women as well, more so than males, which is good because we see a lot of pop male artists. It's good that there's beginning to be more of a mixture, and it's good that Irish music is coming out more, and we're not just constantly hearing American or English artists on the radio the whole time. That there's a good mixture now.
My relationship music started when I was 4 years old. My first instrument was the violin. So I was classically trained in the violin and played that all through primary school and secondary school. And I played with classical orchestras, and also I played a little bit of trad. So I kind of learned some jigs and reels on the fiddle. And when I was 10 years old, I started taking piano lessons. So again, kind of classically trained in piano, and I kept that up until I finished in secondary school. And then when I was 15, I got a guitar for Christmas and just kind of taught myself. So the guitar is kind of my main instrument now. And then I think I was in first year in college, I started messing around with electronic music and teach myself how to use synthesizers and samples and DAWs and stuff like that. My current band, my main band, is a band called Late Night Pharmacy. So I'm the lead guitar player in that band. And we're kind of, I suppose we started off as kind of a post-punk band. We recorded an EP in 2017, and it was kind of very heavily influenced by Joy Division and Interpol and Bauhaus and My Bloody Valentine. We did another EP in 2019 called Flamingo, and we kind of went in a more alternative rock kind of direction. So kind of inspired by Pixies and Smashing Pumpkins. So we kind of go back and forth. Some of our songs are quite kind of catchy and poppy and accessible. Other songs are kind of more noisy and weird and experimental and aggressive. My other project is a band called Fos. So I'm kind of the only permanent member of the band, and I play all the instruments in the band. So the idea behind Fos was to kind of combine Shan nose singing with heavy metal and ambient electronic music. So what I did was I got in touch with this Shan nose singer on Facebook, and I got her to come up to a studio here in Dublin and recorded her singing 4 traditional Shan nose songs. And then I kind of built up these kind of instrumental arrangements to accompany the singing. For Late Night Pharmacy, I suppose there are a lot of bands right now operating in the same kind of general alternative indie rock space. And we all bring different influences to the sound. So our drummer, he used to play in punk bands when he was younger, and then he played with a hip hop band for years. Our bass player, he was in a blues rock band before this, and I'm kind of coming from a kind of metal and hardcore background, so we all bring different influences and inspirations to the sound. Fos is probably the most kind of distinctive project I've been involved in. I think that idea of of combining shando singing with kind of doom metal and electronics. It's pretty original. Before me, you had like Primordial, who were sort of combining Irish folk and black metal and singing about like Irish history, and also Algishka. They're quite a big influence. So their kind of whole sound was based around kind of drone, ambient electronics, and black metal, combining those to sort of convey the mood of Irish folklore and the west of Ireland and stuff. So yeah, they're pretty cool and kind of probably the most obvious predecessor to Fos. Yeah.
So those were our interviews. We just want to say thank you again to Fionn and Arlene for giving us and the listeners an insight into the Irish music scene. By doing this podcast, we hope it encourages listeners to maybe check out some Irish artists and to support some local acts. Thank you again on behalf of Karen, Clodagh and myself for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the interviews just as much as we did. Bye!